What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Week 2 NFL preview show on 2 Minute Warning. Yeah.
It is also the Week 1 recap.
It is also the Week 1 recap. We would like to welcome Mr. Patrick Flanagan to the show. Give him a round of applause, everyone.
How's it going?
Hello, everyone.
How's it going, Patrick?
I'm excited to be here.
Oh, the mic can't get your voice right now. Speaking to the mic.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, so, we're just going to, like we said, we're going to recap Week 1, and we're going to talk about Week 2, Tommy.
That's right.
Let's get right onto it. Patrick, since you're new here, let's give you a refresher of the rules. Every topic, we're going to get 2 minutes just to talk about it. Just a little 2-minute
Chat.
dabble.
Seems fair to me.
A little 2-minute dabble into the topic. So, Tommy, let's head right into it.
Okay, let's start with our Week 1 recap.
Yep.
And let's start with what was the best game of this week? What was the most entertaining game to you? And I want to pass it over to P. Flans first.
Give me 1 second.
Once we get the timer going.
Okay, get the timer going.
What do you think was the best game you saw this week from Week 1 in the NFL?
That's a great question. There were so many good games this week. Honestly, it was one of the best opening weeks of football I've seen in quite some time. But I think I'm gonna have to give that title of best game, most entertaining game to Steelers Bengals. I mean, what an overtime clincher. Joey Burrow coming off a tough Super Bowl loss. We wanted to see him succeed. Steelers pushing for a good season with their quarterback trifecta. Who's going to come out on top? Everyone thought the Bengals, and it was closer than probably most of us would have wanted.
Yeah, no,
I think we're all Joe Burrow fans. At least most of us.
I mean, five turnovers really hurt him there, but he still played a pretty solid game overall besides the turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the story of that game was definitely impressive from the Steelers side of the ball. I mean, the O-line from the Bengals still looks like the Bengals.
A little rocky.
Yeah, but have to be impressed with what Mike Tomlin's done over the offseason for them, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy, what was your best game?
Oh, my favorite game was the Broncos-Seahawks. What a shocker from the Seahawks. The emotion from that game alone with Russell Wilson coming back was really entertaining to watch. I think the first half was great. Second half slowed down a little bit, but controversy in the end with a couple field goal attempts on 4th downs.
Even the Broncos head coach said they should have gone for it.
Yeah, but overall, very entertaining game. I thought it was the best game from an overall standpoint.
Yeah, especially since Russell Wilson was playing against his former team, one that people didn't expect to do nearly as well with him in his absence.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
Geno Smith is.
I think my answer would also have to be the Broncos-Seahawks game, just because I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I think to the end there was like Tommy said, some controversy that we weren't expecting either. But the best games in the NFL are the ones that you don't expect to be good. I feel like those are the best games. But honorable mention to the Saints-Falcons game. The Saints were down 26-10 with 11 minutes to go in the 4th quarter and ended up winning that game. So honorable mention to the Saints.
Pretty impressive.
Seems like the Falcons always find a way to lose games.
Find a way.
Yeah, find a way.
Have to be impressed.
And that's the 2 minutes, y'all. So, Tommy, what's the next topic?
Let's move on to the worst game this week. Game. I would like to start this one
Ready? 2 minutes starting now.
The worst one for sure, I gotta say, and this really was nothing to the teams. It was the Niners versus Bears. Bad weather. And it just, overall, Elijah Mitchell goes down with a big injury. Don't want to see that. The Bears offense, they played all right late. They played well late. Justin Fields made some big-time throws late in that game, but overall, not what you really wanted to see from 2 young quarterbacks trying to prove themselves. And, just not really an exciting matchup to watch.
Patrick?
I'm going to be a little biased on this pick.
The worst game?
As a die-hard Green Bay fan, watching the Green Bay game this week was awful. It was sad to see. I quite distinctly remember myself being in a similar position almost exactly 1 year ago against the Saints, but not something you ever want to see for as a Packer fan.
But my question to you is, do you think it will be the same outcome after that Week 1 Saints loss?
I'm always optimistic. I think Aaron Rodgers will always pull through and give the team the success he does every season. I know Devontae Adams is a huge loss, but I think we'll find a way. I have to believe that. We always do poor week 1. It's just kind of a Packers tradition. So,
well, I guess we're all gonna have different answers for this question because my answer is gonna have to be the Bucs-Cowboys game.
Disappointing.
That was a very disappointing game for a Sunday Night Football primetime game. It was the only game in the week where a touchdown wasn't scored by one of the teams, the Cowboys. Dak went down. No one likes seeing Dak go down. Like, I feel like all the Cowboys haters out there, probably myself included, we still don't like seeing Dak hurt because Dak is a very talented quarterback. And I don't know. It's just the Cowboys were shaped up to be this offense that had a lot going for them, but not scoring a touchdown. I mean, what happened? So I think that was my worst game of the week, to be honest.
You know, the ups and downs of this week alone made it super entertaining to watch all around.
Oh, yeah.
Games you thought they were going to be super competitive ended up being blowouts or just ugly games. And then, you know, you had a Colts-Texans tie.
Yep.
In the middle of it. It's
Exactly.
just
wild stuff.
I know.
Wild stuff.
Insane. All right, so moving on. Let's move on to, I mean, it's week 1, so obviously we watch one game of football and we already start making some big accusations on how the rest of the season's going to go.
Overreactions.
So, Theo, you're going to start this one. What is the worst overreaction you think either you have or you've been hearing already from week 1?
Okay.
I guess could be the question we ask.
All right. 2 minutes starting now. I would say I wouldn't say this is the worst overreaction, but the first one that I think of is still people saying that Trey Lance being picked 3rd was a mistake by the 49ers. I think that week 1, definitely not his week. Tommy said that game was not it. I agree. It was not the game. It was also not the game to be judging Trey Lance. So let's see week 2. Maybe next week I will come back and say, you know what? It's time to start sleeping on Trey Lance, but it's not yet. I would say, though, the worst overreaction I have heard is that Aaron Rodgers will just not do anything this year. And this is for Patrick.
I completely agree.
I will say this right now. I think that's an overreaction. I think just basing it on last year alone, I know he had Devontae and he had a better team back then, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. It's still the back-to-back MVP. It's still probably one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. I don't think people should be overreacting on Aaron Rodgers after a week 1 loss like that. So, go ahead, guys.
Well, I completely agree, so I won't steal that overreaction as my own. I think another big overreaction is the Bengals team as a whole. I mean, they're still coming off a Super Bowl appearance in a great game at that. Joe Burrow is still that guy in my mind. They have, in my opinion, the best wide receiver depth chart in the league and a top 10 at maybe 5 running back. Just a high-powered offense, and I think they ran into a better Steelers team than we all were expecting. So I think to discredit the Bengals is not quite what we should be doing at this point.
I agree. I agree with that one as well. Tommy?
It's a tough one.
So worst overreaction of week 1.
Worst overreaction I've been hearing is a lot of talk from a division that a lot of people had very high hopes for, and a lot of competitive teams at the start of the year. Only one team is currently that has a winning record. That's the Seahawks. So my overreaction is kind of just with the whole NFC West, I guess, because I mean there are a lot of doubts now with the Cardinals, Niners, and Rams as a whole. Specifically with the Rams, especially at home. Week 1, Thursday Night Football, big game. Josh Allen.
I think that's another overreaction.
Yeah,
I think Matthew Stafford, that was not his game, but that will not be his year. I'm not a big Matthew Stafford fan, but that was not the Matthew Stafford that we are going to see this year.
Rams are going to be good. I think they'll bounce back.
I mean, that's a tough first game matchup against a team like the Bills. So, and they haven't fully figured everything out either. Their running back room is a mess right now. Stafford only throws to Cooper Kupp. He's got to feed his other guys too. So once they figure out that offense, which they easily will, they'll be back to being a playoff team and competing.
All right. So our last week one topic. Just 2 minutes, starting right now. I'm just gonna ask you guys. So, who are some waiver wire pickups that you guys are looking out for this week? Based on
fantasy football,
just based on week one performance alone.
Is this for myself personally, or maybe people?
I don't know, people out there.
Or you can say who you're looking at this week, and I can steal it from you.
Yeah, something like that. That would.
I don't really have anyone I'm currently eyeing. There's some people on my team I think showed a lot of potential that I didn't expect. Maybe Antonio Gibson, I think, had a big week. No one was really expecting. He's on my bench currently. With the unfortunate departure of Elijah Mitchell, I think he's now my RB2. So I think he'll be better than probably he was drafted for most people. I guess that's my waiver wire pick. Pick up Antonio Gibbs.
I'm gonna build up on P. Flance's point, saying that Elijah Mitchell is out and Jeff Wilson is in. Let's just say that the Niners running backs can't be trusted on that team, but
no, you cannot.
On a team that relies on the run, not as much as they should, because they still have, Deebo Samuel that they still are using as a running back based on that week one game. Jeff Wilson might be a player to watch on waivers. I wouldn't add him if no one adds him after this week. Definitely add him after this week, I would say.
I'll finish this off. I'll lean into Patrick. I'll look into your point. You talked about a Washington Commander. I got another Washington Commander you should look out for. Carson Wentz had a really, really big week. Week one, 4 touchdowns. I think based on the whole NFC East strength of schedule, he's going to have a lot of easy matchups this year. I feel like if you are not set at quarterback, if you're looking at, you have Trey Lance right now, even Aaron Rodgers, Stafford, or Brady, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if those guys are really going to be all that this year. Not a bad idea to go pick up a Carson Wentz. Yeah. I feel like he's going to have a lot of easy matchups where he gets you 20 points close to it, and that's huge to have on your bench. So if you lost week one because bad quarterback play, go get yourself that backup.
Pretty consistent guy in Carson Wentz. I mean, that's the 2 minutes, but I just want to say, I don't gatekeep here on 2 minute warning. I don't gatekeep my fantasy team as well. I already have this guy on one of my leagues. Jahan Dotson from the Washington Commanders had 2 touchdowns this week. He's looking like the rookie wide receiver based on week one.
A lot of Commanders talk.
We're liking the
Antonio Gibson, Carson Wentz, Jahan Dotson. I mean,
we didn't even
talk about Scary Terry because he didn't really.
He scored a tutty.
All right.
I love Scary Terry.
Moving on. Here we go. Week 2. Not a lot of good games, guys. I must say.
Let me check.
I must say. We are starting with.
It's a midweek.
We are starting with a banger of a matchup between the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Oh, that should be exciting.
But after that Thursday night game, nothing. I don't think there's anything. So that'll make this segment a lot harder, in my opinion. And that's our locks for the week. Let's go. Ooh, yeah. Okay. So to refresh your guys' memory, Tommy and I made 2 picks each last week, and those were our locks. Tommy, what were your picks last week?
I picked correctly Ravens over Jets. I also picked incorrectly Broncos over Seahawks.
So he has a 1-1 record.
A 1-1.
So I picked the 49ers over the Bears as a lock. We all know how that one went. That's an L. So I'm 0-1. But my other one was Colts over the Texans, which was a tie. So my overall record for the season is 0-1-1. So
yes, it looks like I'm the current leader.
Looks like Tommy's the current leader for locks.
Theo's going to start with his locks this week.
I will start with my lock. My first lock of the week has to be Packers over the Bears for Sunday Night Football. There's no way Aaron Rodgers loses two games in a row, and there's no way the Bears and Justin Fields win 2 games in a row. It's just not happening. The Packers own the Bears. That's the lock. Tommy.
Moving on to my lock. I don't know how you skipped over this one. This one's kind of obvious. I got Bills over Titans.
That was my second one.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well,
Yeah, Bills are too good. I mean, I didn't see anything from the Titans against the Giants that makes me say, oh, the Titans are going to play well. But Monday afternoon, Monday night, I got Bills. How can you not bet against the Bills?
Do I get locks too, or is this a...
You want a lock?
Yeah, you can get a lock.
You get 2 locks, P-Flans.
Am I
You're up now.
Go ahead. Your picks already, or can I...
You can
go ahead.
Hey,
I mean, you
you're
can pick
guest.
whatever
you
you
you want. You can keep ours. You can use ours.
I'm gonna go. I was gonna pick Bears over or Packs over Bears, but I'll pick some of my own. I'm gonna go Rams Falcons. I think.
I had that one too.
That was Can I pick that still? Because that was my second one.
Of course.
You're gonna copy P-Flans?
Well, I mean,
it's an obvious pick.
That's controversy right
it's
now.
It's a lot.
I mean, Matty Stafford.
Oh, yeah, asterisk.
Cooper Kupp coming into the Falcons.
Okay, well, can I see this?
What else can I say? I mean,
I like it.
Well, since I apparently can't use P-Flans' pick, we're just going to go with another one. And you know what?
Well, I guess me and Theo are the same 2 picks. I was going Falcons.
Yeah, so we have the same 2 picks, but
we can. Okay.
I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to say that the Colts finally get a win this week. I will pick the Colts again this week over the Jaguars.
I was also looking at that.
So that's my second lock.
All right, man. I wrote down
not a lot of locks.
I wrote down 4 locks
not
at
a
the
lot
beginning before this segment.
All of them were taken.
No, my top 2 were not taken. So my second pick, I can't believe you skipped over this one too. Bengals over the Cowboys.
I don't know.
Dude, I know. I mean, come on, it's the Bengals, man.
I guess.
Bengals. I mean, no way Joe Burrow's throwing 5 or 4 picks and a fumble against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys lost Dak.
That's true.
They only scored 3 points with Dak against the Buccaneers. Bengals, I mean, they played the Steelers, a competitive game, could have went either way. Bengals need to bounce back. They're not going to start the year 0-2. Yeah, so Bills, Bengals.
I feel confident in both of our locks
right
this week.
I
think
feel like
we might both.
I feel like I'm going to stay as the current leader.
He will.
3-1.
It's my that one tie is going to be the difference in this one. I swear.
Yeah, ties always screw up some stuff.
P-Flans, what's your final lock?
That is an excellent question. It was gonna be Colts over Jags.
There's still one game in there that I saw that I would say is a lock.
Let me go. I don't know.
I just think that
it's a tough one.
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of questionable matchups.
I don't know.
Obviously, you can't pick between the Chargers and the Chiefs.
I don't know about Chargers-Chiefs.
Obviously, you can't pick between the Vikings and the Eagles.
I don't know.
That's also a good matchup.
But I'd pick the Steelers, but I'm not saying they're a lock. Ravens-Dolphins could be difficult to decide between. Jets-Browns. Obviously, it's the Jets and the Browns, and it's
exactly.
It's high school football. Commanders-Lions.
That one might be one. Hey, we're high on the Commanders.
I'm also high on the Lions, though.
True.
Lions are good this year.
After watching Hard Knocks, I'm high on the Lions.
Maybe Bucs Saints. I mean, that's it's a division game, and Saints don't. Tom Brady doesn't have a great record against the Saints, but.
So you got Bucs in that one, or are you?
I would get Bucs, but let's.
We're just going through P-Flans.
Get a lock.
I really don't have any other locks for you.
Yeah, I guess we went through all the locks.
All the picks from P-Flans.
Well, then let's just go to the next topic, which I think is a lot harder and a lot more interesting. So we're going to go 2 minutes. Just give me your underdog team for the week. I'm going to start. Ooh. And you already know who I'm going with, Tommy.
You got a dog in
You already know who I'm going with here.
What?
We're going with the New Orleans Saints at home against the Buccaneers. Look, guys, I said it in our NFL preview show. The Saints will get at least one against the Bucs this year, and it will be this one. It will be early in the season. It will be at home. The Saints are definitely underdogs in this game, and they showed in that Falcons game that while, yes, in the first half, nothing was there, maybe the third quarter also, but the fourth quarter, they showed what they had as a team. If they play in that game like they did in that fourth quarter, they will win that game. So they are my underdog picks for the week.
You can go next.
This might be. I'm going with the
Look,
Eagles.
we go controversial in this segment.
I'm going Eagles over Vikings this match.
Ooh, I like that one. I like that one.
I think the Eagles have a lot of potential this season, especially with the pickup of AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts, I feel like, is really coming into his own.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of solid weapons on their offense. No starts.
Solid, dude.
A lot of solid.
Everyone
weapons.
on their running back committee scored a touchdown week 1.
Yeah, definitely some.
Even Boston Scott.
A really underrated depth chart.
Oh yeah,
I think is
I agree. And I guess
their defense is of concern.
And I think we were all wrong on AJ Brown. He looks like that offense is going to run through him too.
I have him in both my fantasy leagues, so I guess
Patrick wasn't wrong about AJ Brown.
You knew it.
Yeah, Tommy.
All right, this one's way too easy for me to pick an underdog this week.
It's an upset alert. So
yeah, upset alert. Throw it on. It's a home game for the Ravens, but the Dolphins are just that team. Like the defense, like the offense right now. The only thing I don't like is Tua, but I feel like him versus Lamar.
Tommy's just biased against left-handers.
That's true.
Tyreek Hill is quite special.
Yeah, and with Waddle too, like they got a solid offense. Ravens, I still feel like have too many question marks, and coming off a win against the Jets, I just don't know if that competitive nature carries over because they didn't have to compete at all against the Jets. Dolphins had a tough. I forgot who they played. Oh, Patriots. They played the Patriots. They had tough battle. Defense played well. I expect the same against the Ravens, and I could see the Dolphins sneak away with a 2-0 record.
Like that
I
one
could
too.
as well.
It's a sneaky upset pick right there. It's not a lock, it's an upset pick. Watch out for it.
Yep. All right. Moving on. What's our next topic, Tommy?
It is week 2 fantasy players.
Oh, this is our last one.
To
our last
watch
topic for the week.
Or look out for. If you have them,
good for you.
If you don't, try to trade for them before this week, I guess.
We're going to go 2 minutes starting right now. P-Flans.
I really don't have. Come back to me, please.
I'll start.
I'll
start. All right. I got my week 2 fantasy player to watch. I'm gonna look at a player who had a rough week 1.
But so Tommy's going for a bounce back.
Had a lot of promise, but he's gonna come back strong week 2 and prove to everyone that he is a very viable fantasy option. That's Trey Lance. 9 points in week 1. 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, 52 rush yards, and still threw for...
Did you say 1 reception?
1 interception.
Oh, I was like...
1 interception. And like 160 pass yards, I believe, in a rainy and terrible condition game. They're playing a home game against Seattle. Seattle looked really good against Denver. I don't know if they show that back-to-back games. And Russell Wilson still put together a pretty impressive fantasy stat line. I think he had like 17, only with 1 touchdown. So I think Trey Lance is going to run the ball a lot. He's going to make it really hard, especially with Elijah Mitchell out. So that's going to be huge for his fantasy production. And he's going to throw the ball a lot more in a better weather game. So watch out for Trey Lance week 2.
You know, I wasn't expecting Tommy to go the 49ers route because my answer for this question was also a 49ers player in Deebo Samuel. Deebo was a late 2nd, early 3rd round pick in most fantasy formats. And I think that him scoring, how many points did he only scored like
12.
Yeah. 12 points is not going to happen again. And that's 12 points in rainy weather for Deebo. I think
with
that
a touchdown.
Yeah, but still, I mean, if we are banking on Tommy's pick for Trey Lance to be the fantasy player to watch, direct link with Deebo Samuel. So watch out for Deebo Samuel this week.
I'm moving away from the 49ers.
Good call.
And I was going...
no other players left.
I was looking through week 1 fantasy performances. And something that caught my eye was Alvin Kamara.
I like that one. I was going to say that one too.
I think he had a poor showing week 1, but he's a dog. I mean, he really is that guy. So... And against the Buccaneers, high intensity game, they're going to be giving the ball a lot. I like him to have a good week. I like him to bounce back week and to do well.
I like that pick.
3 bounce back picks from us.
3 bounce back picks.
Watch out.
I didn't want to go with Justin Jefferson, who had almost 40 points week 1.
I could obviously say Jonathan Taylor against the Jaguars, but that's no.
But hey, watch out for Christian McCaffrey. If we're talking about bounce back, whatever performance he had week 1, that's probably his floor. I'm telling you that right now. So.
Well, until he gets hurt and then he's on the floor.
No.
Hey, all you Trey Lance fantasy owners right now freaking
PSA.
I have him too.
Yeah. Tell him.
I scored 160 points this week with Trey Lance.
Tell
Gave me
him.
9.
Tell him.
So, I mean, I'm definitely not in any situation that you guys were. But hey, this guy, he's fine.
He's fine.
9 points was a good showing. I know it doesn't sound like it, but it was a good showing for what he had to deal with week 1.
I could say the same about Aaron Jones.
9 points against the Bears does not impress me. I'm sorry.
I expect.
I know it was week 1, but
it was first game.
It is
terrible weather. A touchdown saves him. A touchdown gets him to 15.
Fair, but
that's one. They had
Aaron Jones. Watch out for Aaron Jones.
The Niners had some big fumbles in the red zone, which hurt them.
I would agree with the Aaron Jones, but we still don't know how he's really going to be used in the Packers offense.
I think
AJ Dillon takeover's coming soon, guys. Watch out.
It's a coin flip.
Watch out.
All right. Well, thank you again, Patrick, for joining the podcast today. We appreciate you with your takes, with your locks. We'll update you guys next week on Patrick's picks. So, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you next week for more NFL content. And like I said before, be sure to follow our new TikTok account, 2 Minute Warning, with an extra G at the end because we lost the password to the old one.
Nice.
Yeah, right? Anything else, Tommy?
That's what we do. Nothing.
No.
Nothing from me.
All right, awesome. Well, we'll see you guys at the next one. Peace out.